The first diagram is the class diagram. Here you can see this is the class diagrams. Then here we have the relationship there within the classes. Okay, the class, you know very well, the class means set of attributes and operations. Here you can see this is the class name. In the here this is the class name. We have representing the attributes and operations. Okay, you can see here we are representing this class name and attributes and operations. And we have the another relationship is a generalization relationship. The generalization relationship means we are representing the base classes and subclasses. Then example, if the HODs are is in a base class, we have some attributes and it has some operations, and under the HODs are we have some faculties. Okay, faculty, and there is some non-teaching staff also. Non-teaching staff also means this is an base class, and this faculty is what subclass. That's why we are representing in generalization relationship. Generalization relationship. Okay, this is the generalization relationship. Then we are representing the dependency relationship. If the one class is depending on another class, we are using that dependency relationship. Example is date or date of birth. The date of birth, we are date of birth is an attribute. Then in that date of birth, we have date is a different variable, month is a different variable, and year is a different variable. Means that date of birth we are creating some separate class, and we are giving that dependency relationship. Okay, here in this coordinality adornment we have 0 to 0 relationship, means there is no relationship between the classes. 0 to 1 and 0 to many, and 1 to 1 relationship, 1 to many relationship, and n to any relationships are there here. Then you can see this one class diagram, we will be understand. Then basic class diagram, we will see the uh, ATM system. Okay, then we will see the ATM system, you will be understand. Then I will tell always ATM system. Then uh, you can execute remaining diagrams. Means online management system, hospital management system. Then I will give the assignments. You can do that. And listen carefully. You can see here. This is the class diagram of ATM system. Okay. Have you seen this one? This is the class diagram of ATM system. Then this is the main class is the here bank class is there. Okay, అందరు కనబడుతుంది కదా ఇది. Hello students,
Yes, sir.
is it clear? Okay. Okay, this is the bank is an a main class. Okay, and we have one property. When you are writing the class name, the class name should be capital. Here the bank is an a class name. That's why the B is an a capital. This is a class name is a bank. The bank has some properties. Then every class has some properties. Every has some class have some properties and operations. Operations means methods. You know very well. Then here the bank has the code and address is a property. It manage, it maintains. The bank can manages and the bank can maintains. Okay. Then bank in ATM transaction, the bank can be communicated with ATM information. The ATM is available in various location, and and we are managed by so and so branch. Okay, and it identifies and it doing some transactions. Those all are operations. Okay, then bank and ATM system, how it is in a communication. One bank has many ATM systems. Yes or no? One bank, the what is the meaning of one to many? One bank has one ATM system or many ATM system. That's why we are representing one to many. Is it clear? One bank has many ATM systems. That's why we are representing one to many ATM information. And next one is one bank has many customers. One to many customers. If there is no customers, no need to create the bank. Bank only waste customers like that. One bank has many customers. Many customers. Then debit card. The debit card is in a class. The debit card number and owned by and assets. Then bank can manage. One bank can manage many debit cards. Many customers means here many debit cards is possible. Then many customers have many debit cards. The customers can have more than one accounts and more than one bank. That's why. Then many customers have many debit cards. It is possible multiple to. Uh, uh, then multiple customers have single debit card, zero or one debit card. It is also possible. Otherwise, if this is the within the system, the customer, many customers have in this bank means this is the same bank. This is what? Same bank. Not here, the not multiple banks, same bank. If you are taking the same bank, he has zero debit card. He maybe take the card, he won't take the card, and he will take the single debit card. Single debit card. Then customer have the debit cards. Okay. The same bank there is maybe saving card, there is maybe current account. Then he will take the some multiple cards. But here the debit card, the customer many customers have zero or one debit card. Okay, then many customers have many accounts. That there is maybe the different accounts, saving accounts and current accounts. Okay, then in this current account, which accounts are there? Current account is there and the saving account is there. Current account is in a base class. This account is in a base class. Okay, in this account the subclasses are current account and savings account. Okay, this is also current account is also type of the account. A good example is I am the faculty and HOD. HODs are is there. Faculty is an under HOD, is working an under HOD, and HODs are also he can teach. Okay, is in a faculty. Then in tomorrow the maybe the faculty become the HOD. Means these all are the under things. It is in a base class, and those are what subclasses. The current account information, account number, balance. Those are attributes, and it has some operations, debited and credited. Same operation, debit and credit, and account and balance. This is what saving account. This is what current account. Okay, why we are which relationship this one? Which relationship this one? Which relationship this one? Generalization relationship. Why? Because here we are using the inheritance concept. Then this is an association. This is what? Association. This is what? Association. This is what? Association. Then here ATM information and ATM transaction. There is a one ATM information have many transactions. One ATM we are performing many transactions. Many transactions. Which type of transactions we are performing? Which type of transactions we are performing? So maybe we are withdrawing the amount. Then maybe we are execute some queries. Then maybe we are transfer the amount. Maybe pin validation. Then we can add some more change pin, change pin. We can add some classes here. We can add some classes here. Okay, we can change pin. Okay, then so many transactions are possible here. So many transactions are possible here. Okay, Then this is all our withdrawal is then belongs to transaction. Query is then belongs to transaction. These all are subclasses of ATM transaction. That's why we are representing here in which is a relationship generalization. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear class diagram? I done revision. Students,
Yes, sir.
is it clear? In this class diagram is a static diagram or dynamic diagram? It's an which type of diagram? Static diagram. This is what? Static. The static diagram means what? We are representing the total architecture, not execution process. We are not showing the execution process. Then what are the classes are there? How they are communicated? What are the properties are there? What are the methods are there? We are representing in this class diagram. Okay. Then next diagram we will see use case diagram. We have some examples of class diagram, college management system. You can see this one, college management system, and hospital management system. You can practice this system. Okay. And library management system. Then here, this is what I would like to explain this library management system. Okay, that's better. I would like to explain this one, library management system. Okay, I won't take much time. Okay, this is the library management system. This is the main class of remaining all classes. Then the library have library admin. There is an books and a librarian and operations and the user. Then here the library is a main class. That's why we are giving aggregation relationship. Which classes is connected at once? We can represent that class in aggregation అంటే అన్ని ఒక దగ్గరనే కలుస్తుంది. Library is a good example. That's why we are representing this one in aggregation. Then library admin is connected to library, librarian is connected to library, then user is connected to library, and books is connected to what? Library. Okay, there is a library admin. He has some ID and he has some name. He can manage the library. Okay, then books. If you are taking the books, what is the book properties? There is an ID and title and author. Okay, if you are taking the librarian, he has some ID and he has some name. He can issue the books, renewal the books, collect the fines and collect the books. There is some operations is performing by the librarian. Okay, what type of operations is performing? Then he can issue the book, renewal the book, return the book, and he can collect the fine. These all are the operations is the performing under library. Then the user may be the student, the user may be the faculty. In that user, it's an sub classes of user. It's maybe the student and faculty. The user have the ID and the name. You can take the books, you can pay the fine, you can return the books. Okay. Then user is communicated with the library. This is an aggregation relationship. Okay, this is the library management system. Library management system. You can, if you are understanding the system, then you can easily draw the diagrams. If you are understanding the system, you can easily draw the diagrams. Okay. Then next one is the use case diagram. The use case diagram is the dynamic diagram. Okay, dynamic diagram. Then we are representing the actors and use cases. We are representing the actors and use cases. Okay, in this use case diagram, we will see the library management system, ATM system, and library management system. Okay, this is the use case diagram. Then we are representing the actors. Then last class I already at first class I already discussed about this one. Use case diagram. There is an association. There is an a dependency here, and generalization also possible here. The main thing is an actors. The actors is outside of the system. The actors are available in outside of the system. The use cases are the we are identifying the system boundaries, just like an a withdrawal, then balance inquiry, some transactions, the system related things, all are we are representing in use cases. Okay, you can see here actor represent the system users, means the people, the persons. We are representing in where actors. Okay, the use case we can describe the specific way of using the system, how we are communicating the system, how we are using this system. In that we will represent in use cases. Okay, you can observe here how we are representing the use cases. We are representing in ellipse symbol. Okay, then you can see here this is the use case diagram of ATM system. What we are performing here in use case diagram, there is two use cases, two actors. One is a customer. We are seeing the actors in one is a customer. Then one is the database server. The database server also it is an acts like an actor. Why? Because it is checking everything. Okay, that's why the database server we are representing in actor. Okay, here this is a customer. Here is a customer. Customer is an actor and a database server. Then what he will ask? Then he can ask the change the password. The database server giving the permission to the change the password. Then customer can ask the withdrawal. Then database server is accepted the withdrawal. If it is an accepted, he will give the acceptance of withdrawal. Then customer can check the balance. Then database server will be verify the information and they will provide to the customer. Then customer can take the mini statement and database server can be accepted that mini statement. When he is inquiry the things, then he will provide the mini statement to the customer. Here, uh, in this use case diagram also, we can represent the how to work the total system. Then the customer how it is and working, how what he is asking, and database server what is and responsibilities. The total things we are representing in use case diagram. Okay, the customer he can change the password, he can request. Then he can request the withdrawal. The customer he can request the balance. He can request the mini statement. Who will be approved? The database server, because the database server only he will check the information. He will check the information and he will update. He will update. This type of things we are seeing in use case diagram. Use case diagram. Then you can see here the library management system. Then here we are observing the persons, actors. How many actors we are seeing here? The student we are seeing, the student may be the user, we are presenting maybe user or person. Okay, and here the person may be the student and maybe the staff. The librarian he can interact with the same use cases. in use case diagram, then who will be actively involved? You will be actively involved to the system. Okay, the person can search the books, but librarian cannot search the books. Okay, you can see here. Then we are seeing the person. There is an actors, student, and staff. It's an we are representing in generalization. Why? Because the student is an a subclass of person. The staff is an a subclass of person. Okay, here we are representing in generalization relationship. Which relationship we are representation? Generalization. The remaining all are in association relationship only. Remaining all are in association relationship. Then student can search the book. That is an use case. Okay, it is an system involvement. Okay, then person can search the books. Then person can be asked the issuing the books. Then person can go for the renewal books. Then person can go for paying the fine. Then person can be asked to return the books. In same way, in similar way, the librarian can issue the books, he can renew the books, he can collect the fine, okay, he can return the books. There is a communication with these use cases. The use cases 30, there is a communication to the person as well as the librarian. Sometimes the maybe both, sometimes maybe the two person may be involved, sometimes only uh, individuality may be involved. Here the person is communicated to with searching book, but not librarian. Librarian cannot search the book. Okay. Then student he can go to the system. Then he will enter his ID and he will search the book. Otherwise, the student can search the books manual. Okay. But librarian work is they can issue the books and renewal the book, pay the fine, and he can receive the fine and return the books. Here, these two persons are communicated with these transactions. Okay, these use cases. Issue the books that he communicate outside, renewal the books and pay the fine and return the books. Is it clear? Is it clear? How the people involving to the use cases and how the people involving to the use cases. The person involved, librarian involved. Okay, this type of diagram we are representing. This type, the total ATM system, we are ATM system and library management system. We are representing in use case diagram. Use case diagram. Is it clear? The first one is then a class diagram. Then second one is what? Use case diagram. Use case diagram. Then in that use case diagram describe the set of sequences in which sequences indicate the relation with the outside things. అంటే ఒక యూస్ కేసెస్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, అది అవుట్ సైడ్స్ తోటి ఎలా రిలేషన్షిప్లో ఉంటాయి, వాటిని మాత్రమే రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తాం. Is it clear? Use case can interact and involves with actors. It can interacts and involves with actors and system. Here the main thing is there is sometimes the possibility is that use case to use case also the communication is possible. The use case involves the interaction of actors and systems. Okay, how it will be involved using association relationship. Association. When we are using the association, then I can communicate it with the other system, other person, we can use the association. Dependency, when we are using one person is totally depending on another person, we are using the dependency relationship. Is it clear? Is it clear? Hello students, is it clear? Students, is it clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, dependencies we will see in state chart diagram. This is an example ఇవ్వలేదండి. Here you can see the supplier, the client is client and the supplier is both are there here. The kind of relationship in which the client is one element is depending on supplier, another element. When we are using this dependency, if you are changing one thing in a client, it's totally depending on what supplier. The kind of relationship in which a client is depending on the supplier. The client supplier lo depend అయి ఉన్నాడు. ఎప్పుడు డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటాడు? ఈ సప్లయర్ లో ఉన్న ఏదో అట్రిబ్యూట్ మీద డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటాడు. చేంజ్ అయితే క్లయింట్ కి ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. క్లయింట్ కి ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. Things we are representing. So maybe you are already studied in Java. Already you are studied in Java. And another way we can, for easily understand, then we can write down this one. There is a class. There is maybe the person class. Okay. Here there is a date of birth is there. Okay, date of birth you can represent some date. Okay. Then this is an attribute. This is what attribute. Then we can represent the dependency relationship to the date of birth. Means separately you can create one class for date of birth. Here we cannot represent all things. The DOB will only represent JLM. So what are the separate classes? Then what is there in DOP? First one is the date is there. Then you can represent this one in string format. This is in string. Then date is there and month is there. And third one is what is there? Year is there. Then what is an DOB? DOB is what? DOB is what? మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా? What is an DOB? DOB is what? Attribute of person class. But for detailed information of DOB, I want to create the date of birth. That's why I am taking the DOB separate class. In that separate class, I mentioned some date and month and year. I mentioned some date and month and year. Okay. This is DOB is attribute of person class, but here the separate class means this DOB class is totally depending on what? This DOB class. And then I put a DOP అనేది ఒక పార్ట్ ఇక్కడ separate class. అంటే ఈ DOP అనేది ఇక్కడ ఏదైనా చేంజ్ అయితే that will be effective here. Okay. Then this DOB is depending on this person class. Is it clear? This is we are representing in dependency relationship. Then we will see some more example when we are executing the programs. We have the lab sessions on 29/2021. Okay. In these lab sessions we will execute the things. Okay. Then next one is sequence diagram. The next one is what? Then sequence diagram. This sequence diagram execution, then I will show in next class. Okay. Then you will see this sequence diagram in this class. Then we will see the execution in next class. Okay. Then next diagram we can say that is an interaction diagram. In that interaction diagram, again divided into two diagrams. One is the sequence diagram, another one is what? interaction diagram, collaboration diagram, sequence diagram and collaboration diagram. The combination of sequence diagram and collaboration diagram we can call in interaction diagram. Interaction diagram. Okay. Then this sequence diagram and collaboration is a dynamic diagram. Dynamic diagram. We are showing the execution process. We are showing the execution process, and we are representing the communication between the objects. Communication between the objects, and we are showing the how the interaction is done between the objects at the time of execution. At the time of execution, you can see here a sequence diagram is a graphical view of a scenario that shows object interaction. That shows object interaction in time-based sequence. In time-based sequence, what happened first and what happened next. ఫస్ట్ ఏం జరుగుతుంది, తర్వాత ఏం జరుగుతుంది, రెండు ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ మధ్యలో ఏమేమి జరుగుతున్నాయి అనే వాటిని సీక్వెన్స్ డయాగ్రామ్లో రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, there is a communication between the objects. Here how we are representing the object. This is a rectangle box. Object name, object id colon object name, object name. Okay, this is a representation of object. This is what representation of object. And sometimes you can represent this object with underline also. It is also possible. Then rectangle box colon object name underline. Okay, this is the representation of object. Then this week we will see the sequence diagram. Then after we will see the interaction diagram. Okay. Then what is the purpose of sequence diagram? There is an interaction between the objects in time-based sequence. Time-based sequence. Okay. The example is the ATM system. The example is what? ATM system. Here, for in this interaction, this is the representation of object. This is the representation of object. You can see here, this is the representation of object, and this is the object message. Okay, sending message. The sending message we are representing with dashed arrow. Sorry, direct arrow without dashed. The sending message we are representing with direct arrow. Then this is a message representing the self message or self loop. The returning message we are representing in dashed arrow. Dashed arrow. This is the direct message. This is what? Return message. The return message we are representing in dashed arrow. The direct message we are representing in arrow. This arrow we are calling association relationship, and this is also association relationship, but we are representing in dashed arrow. Then in olden days they are using the same arrows, but now they are using sending message is what? Direct arrow, and returning message is what? Dashed arrow. Okay, is it clear? Now we will see the ATM transaction using sequence diagram. Okay, this is the ATM system. Here the sequence diagram, one advantage is we can represent the sub-modules. We can represent the whatever the modules are available in your system. We can represent easily. Or direct system, the total system also we can represent. The total system also we can represent. This total system also we can represent. You can see here, this is the ATM system. ATM system. There is a communication between the objects. It's a communication between the objects. The totally how many objects are there here? The objects means you know the reality of the system. Yes, sir. A vehicle is an, then what are the objects of vehicle? The car, motor, lorry, those are objects of vehicle class. In similarly, ATM system objects are here user, ATM machine and a database server. Database server. Okay. Then what is the communication is happened at the time of execution? Time of execution. Execution time lo in communication జరుగుతుంది. Okay, in communication జరుగుతుంది. The first thing is user, he can insert the card. Then what he will do, the user, he can insert the card into the ATM system. ATM system lo card insert చేస్తారు. Then uh, self-checking means the card is a valid card or not. Check the card. Who will be check the card? ATM machine only check the card. If the properly inserted, then in ATM machine themselves it will be check the card. Okay, if it isn't properly inserted, okay. Then if it is an invalid, if it is not properly inserted, then it will be returned back to the information. Return back to the information. Then if it is an exactly inserting the card, if they exactly inserting the card, then it will be asked the pin number. It will be asked the pin number. Then before asking the pin number, the ATM machine displaying the information to the user. ATM machine will be displaying the information to the user. Then what information? The card is valid and you can enter the pin number. The enter pin number means the ATM machine will be sending the information to the user. Okay, this is a written information. That's why we are representing in dashed line. Dashed line. Display enter pin. Then the user can enter the pin number. The user can enter the pin number. Okay, user can enter the pin number. After entering the pin number, the user work is completed and ATM machine work is completed. User work is completed and ATM machine work is completed. Now ATM machine sending this information to the database server. Sending this information to the database server. Then database server can check the information and it will be sent to the ATM machine. Maybe the transaction, maybe the pin number is valid or invalid. If it is invalid, it will be the database server will be send the information to the ATM system. It is valid. Okay, if it is valid, then it will be display the information to the user. Maybe you can go to the another transactions. You can go to the transaction. If it is an invalid, then what he will do? Then he will be re-enter the pin. Re-enter the pin. Okay. Whatever the things it will be displayed on menu. It will be displayed on menu. Means how it will be displayed on menu? The ATM machine will be sending that information to the user. And information display చేస్తుందంటే ఆ information ATM machine అనేది user కి send చేస్తున్నారు. Okay. Then valid. Then display the menu. Then what he will do? He can select the withdrawal option. He can select the withdrawal option. Then when he is select the withdrawal option, then immediately ATM system will be asked the enter the amount. Enter the amount. Then ATM system asks the enter amount. If you want, you can add here one more line. Ask amount. ATM machine asking amount. Then the person will be enter the amount. The person will be enter amount. Then after entering the amount, the ATM system will be sending the information to the database server. The amount is available or not. If the amount is available, then the system will be sending the amount is available and the amount will be received to the customer. Amount will be received to the customer. If the amount is not available, then what the database server will be replied to the ATM machine. Then balance low balance. It will be enter the low balance information. Then if it is a low balance means, then he will ask another transaction balance inquiry. If the balance is not available, he will receive the information. Then balance is not available. Okay, if the balance is not available, then he can ask the balance inquiry. Then balance inquiry information will be goes to the ATM system. Then that information will be sent to the database server. Okay, the database server will be send the balance information to the ATM system. Then the system will be display the information. The finally you will see the transaction. Then if you want to continue, you can continue. Otherwise, you can close the transaction and you can reinsert the card. Reinsert the card. Is it clear? This is the sequence diagram. This is the sequence diagram. Here, sir, why we are using? Why we are using? Why we are using class diagram, use case diagram, use case diagram, and sequence diagram and sequence diagram. Where we are using this one? Okay, mainly the class diagram and use case diagram we are using for representing the total project architecture. Total project architecture. మీ టోటల్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ని మీరు రిప్రజెంట్ చేయాలి అంటే క్లాస్ డయాగ్రామ్లో కానీ యూజ్ కేస్ డయాగ్రామ్ కానీ రిప్రజెంట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఎందుకంటే క్లాస్ డయాగ్రామ్లో క్లాసెస్ ఉంటాయి, వాళ్ళ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఉంటాయి, మెథడ్స్ ఉంటాయి. కాబట్టి ఇట్ ఈస్ అన్ స్టాటిక్ నేచర్, ఓవరాల్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ని రిప్రజెంట్ చేయొచ్చు. When we are using the sequence diagram, there is a communication between the objects. కమ్యూనికేషన్ బిట్వీన్ ద ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఎక్కడ జరుగుతుంటాయి? మాడ్యూల్స్ మధ్యలో కమ్యూనికేషన్ జరుగుతాయి. మీకు ఒకవేళ మీ ప్రాజెక్ట్ మీరు ఆల్రెడీ మినీ ప్రాజెక్ట్ చేశారు కదా, దిస్ ఈజ్ ద టోటల్ ప్రాజెక్ట్. దిస్ టోటల్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఈజ్ డివైడెడ్ ఇంటూ సమ్ మాడ్యూల్స్. The first one is the collecting the data. Second one is extraction. Then third one is the processing. Fourth one is the printing. Fourth one is printing. These four modules are there. In ATM system also, we have many modules. What are the modules? One is the change pin module. And another one is what? Withdrawal module. And one module is the balance inquiry module. Okay, balance inquiry module. And here what are the modules are there? And one module name is mini statement module. Okay, then if you want to change pin, the user must and should be communicated with the ATM machine, and ATM machine will be communicated with database server. Okay, then I want change pin. How I would like to change the pin? First, the user inserting the card to the ATM machine. The ATM machine will be communicated to database server. User inserting the card to ATM machine. Okay, then card is valid. The ATM machine replied card is valid. Then user is asking change pin. Okay, then that request will be goes to the database server. Then database server asking the new pin. It will be sent to the information ATM system to new pin. Then that information will be displayed to the user. Enter new pin. Okay, the person may be the enter the new pin. Some will be enter the new pin. Okay, that information will be validated and will be stored in a database server. Okay, finally it will be replied to the user. Your pin is changed. This is the one module. This is what module? Change pin module. Then if you want to perform some withdrawal, if you want to perform some withdrawal, you can perform some withdrawal. Okay, the same user is there, and ATM machine is there, and database server is there, DB server is there. This object is communicated to ATM machine. Okay, insert card. Then ATM machine will be check the it will be check the validated ATM machine selfly validation or not. Then send the information to the user. Enter pin. Enter pin. If it is a pin is correct, display the menu. ATM system, display the menu. Display the menu. Display the menu. Then after display the menu, then he will ask the withdrawal amount. Withdrawal amount. Okay, withdrawal amount. Then if the system will be check the withdrawal amount. The amount is there or not. It will be asked the DB database server. It will be asked. If the amount is there, then display the menu. Then enter the amount. Sending the information to user. You can enter amount. Then user can enter the amount. User can enter some amount 5,000. Then it will be updated to the database server. He received the 5,000 amount and it will be updated. That information will be sent to the bank. Then the person will be received the 5,000 rupees. Okay. Then each and every module we are representing in sequence diagram. ఎందుకంటే time management ఉంటుంది, communication ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి you can represent uh, the individual modules in sequence diagram. Okay. Then next week I will show the execution of class diagram, use case diagram, and sequence diagram. And in one more diagram is collaboration diagram also there. Collaboration diagram also there. Then I will show this execution in next week. Class diagram, use case diagram, sequence diagram, and collaboration diagram. After completion of these 4 diagrams, then you will be here in 20 September 2021. At that time, you can finish this 9 diagrams in your UML OOAD lab. Is it clear? Is it clear, students?